Hi, I'm Hugh McKenna from Asgard Athletics. This week we're going to be going over how to wrap your hands for either boxing, kickboxing, or MMA. The specific kind of hand wrap that I'm going to do is more for an MMA style because it clears the palm of your hand so that you're able to grip a lot easier than you would be with a traditional boxing or kickboxing wrap where it covers the palm of your hand. So the first thing that you need to do is you need to get 180-inch wraps. Okay, it's really confusing because there's 180-inch and then there's 108-inch wraps. The 108-inch wraps are for children. I don't know why they designed them this way, but for those of you who are dyslexic, 180 inches, 180. Okay, the first thing you want to do is unroll it. Then you're going to find the thumb hook. I don't like wrapping this around my thumb like that, so I just fold it in like this. Then you're going to make 4 or 5 folds that are about the length of your knuckles here for padding. You can adjust the number of folds that you want based on how much padding you desire. Then you're going to stick the padding right here. This is the tricky part. You have to hold it on your knuckles as you wrap it around one time. And you don't want your fingers together because then it's going to be too tight. You want your fingers spread apart. So I initially grab it with my thumb. I keep my fingers together just to get a loose wrap around. Now once we're over the top, I start spreading my fingers so that it's the proper tightness. Then I go around once more just to hold it on there. Then I'm going to go down towards the hand, then I'm going to go down towards the wrist, and I'm going to wrap around the wrist a couple times, 2 or 3 times. Then from here, I'm going to go up the back of the hand, and I'm going to go through my fingers like this. So I go up the back of the hand through my fingers. Then I'm going to flip my hand over, and I'm going to go up through here, right? So I go up the back of my hand, I flip my hand over, and this bit of padding right here, I'm going to go underneath and come through it and pull all the way through. When I go back, I'm going to pull it tight, and I'm going to go back through the next couple fingers like this. When I go back down my hand, I want to make sure that I'm coming towards the center of my hand. So if I were coming from the pinky, I want to come this way. If I were coming from the index finger, I want to come this way. The middle finger, you go straight back. And I want to, when I pull it back, I want to make a fist so that my knuckles are pointing forward in the proper direction when I'm making a fist. If I leave my hand out and I go like this and I pull it tight, it's going to start cutting into the webbing of your hand here, and it's not going to feel great. So you pull it back, you make a fist, and you put your fist in the proper position. Then you go once around the wrist to secure it. Then I'm going to come up the back of my hand again and through my fingers, flip my hand over, and I'm going to come up through here again. Now you can choose to go back through the same finger, or you can go through the next finger. It's totally up to you, whatever's more comfortable. I personally prefer it on the same finger, but the same thing, right? I'm going to flip my hand back over, I pull it nice and tight, I make the fist, and I get my knuckles aligned in the proper direction. And like I said before, you want to come towards the center, so I'm not going to go around here because then it's going to fall off like this. So I'm going to come towards the center first, and then around. Now with whatever's left, I'm going to spread my fingers again, and I'm going to start making X's on the back of my hand. So you see how this makes an X here? Right, so I come up the back of my hand, one side of the X, then I go across here, and I do the other side of the X. Then I go one side of the X, other side of the X. When you have about this much material left, I always like to finish on the wrist. So I come here, and I just finish on the wrist so that the Velcro is on my wrist rather than in the middle of my hand. Then from here, I like a really empty palm, so I start pulling this down, and I like to have like a bar here, almost like a roll of quarters that I'm holding on to. So I like to scrunch this up like this and make a little bar, and that way you can grab onto that. And then here's your final wrap right here, and it looks just like you do when you wrap your hand for an MMA fight. If you like to wrap your thumb, you can. I just don't particularly like to do that. I would just do that before you do the X's. You wrap your thumb and then do the X's in the back of your hand. Here you go.